Let's call on Apollo. This is Soul Hour. So let's call on Apollo to abolish tyranny. And it's a good time to work with Beta Persei when Uranus is on Beta Persei. Moon is on Regulian degree 5 in Saturn sign in Capricorn. And I want us to, the Sun is actually on 11th degree Sag, so it's a degree away from Antares still, separating aspect. Ruler of Jupiter is Mercury in Jupiter's sign. So I said something about the new moon. The small problems become big, the big problems become small. So, first of all, I think we all have a more realistic perspective on what it's like to be in the state of perpetual war. I talked about the fact that, let's say, messing with the food of people, with the accessibility to food, ends up in famine, in hunger. And we know that to get to power position, a person goes through intense rape and torture and stays in that position, which renders their ability to eat and absorb minerals limited, even if they have food. Okay? I'm not talking about standing in your power. I'm talking about power over others. Whether it's global, decentralized, cooperative form, or local. Okay, pyramidal. So now, first of all, there's a nice thing about astrology. Mars is applying to oppose Pluto in December, I think 7. It goes back, retrograde. And this is only December. It will hit the Pluto stuff, I think, in February, the opposition. So we have quite some time. And then go all the way to, I think, 20 degrees Cancer. And then go direct. And we don't get out of the dumb fuckery until at least April, when Uranus will be direct on Beta Persei. This is why I made this video for Donald Trump that I made, and the role of remote viewing. Think about Mars as war, and you think about the Sun as both Regulian figures, leaders, but also sight, eyesight. And you think about Beta Persei as something that is extrasensory. And Uranus as well. So now we all have an absolutely realistic, if you haven't been a JFK until now, the JFKs of there's a recruiting, because we are at the state of a perpetual war. This is the transit, okay? It's a very long transit. When Mars was playing along these, when Pluto was playing along the degrees that Mars is playing right now, it ended with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Okay, that's where we're at. And with Pluto in Aquarius, it's not for nothing that you hear declarations before the war by head of NATO saying, on a small scale, we'll see something like that, like what we saw in Second World War. Cancer is National Socialism. Aquarius is, okay, something of all the world unite. That's Aquarius, okay? So Mars going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, on this degree, why Uranus is in the place where it was between 1939 to 1941. You're not imagining. You can compare now. And the fact that we have to, this is what I like about astrology. I'm not saying it's the only science. It's not, okay, but it definitely, yes, it definitely gives us a good appraisal of what it's like to be in a perpetual war. Okay, if you think about Mein Kampf being a documentary, now we get a little bit of a Mein Kampf being a documentary. Now, if you're like me and you're not a big fan of wars, okay, can't have coffee with my mom without some dumb fuck trying to rape my anus. Guys, it's not gonna work. It's gonna deplete you. I said what I said. Stick a finger to your anus. Do it tantrically, okay? You're gonna get way more energy, way more relief than trying to coerce me to do something. That's Pluto. Pluto is bumhole, okay? Let's have a discussion about Pluto. The stress you seek to relieve is behind you, okay? There's a tiny hole there where the poop goes out, okay? You rub that a little bit. Okay? Releases tension from the root chakra. Connects you back to your roots. You don't know how to, by the way, you have no compatibility, competence of doing anal sex. I don't enjoy that. And when it comes to me, like I said, I'm not a sex worker, and all sex work is sex espionage, okay? But I did market in the past. When you let me work for a little while, then I actually went out and got me a job, and I was marketing workshops of sensual self-pleasure. Now, the anus is very important because this is connection to root chakra. And it's important to reach it in self-pleasure. You won't be competent in accessing the sexual energy of someone and doing something good, okay? When you can't please your own anus. You understand? You got to start with yourself. Don't try to take what's in my roots. Get to your roots. You probably have a good source of wealth there. And by the way, you're just, you're going to be exposed, because who's doing such a things, right? People that rape children. Only people that rape children do such a thing. Who would get into some woman's, try to astrally project to get to some woman's anus that does whatever? I mean, only rapists of children do that. They also go for the anus, right? So you probably raped children as well. And now that's going to be exposed because they got a filmography all over the place. That's why you try to access my energy. See, I can't help you. You got to stick a finger in your own anus. Then maybe answers will come. But now that's Mars opposing that. Okay, and what is Mars opposing Pluto? It's going to be there all the way to May. Either you're going to learn how to stick a finger in your anus, or you know what happens? It's like a whale. You try to stick something in my ass, okay? But it comes out, and you know what happens when it comes out? All the pedo rings drop. I'd say stick a finger up your own ass. It's safer for you. Nobody would try to do that, okay? There's nothing wrong with sex, with anal sex. I mean, if people have willing consent and they like what they do to each other, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's lovely, it's healthy, it's good, it's wonderful for the spirit. But when a person does that without willing consent, you understand why they go in for the anus. Because there's something that it's probably not even that attractive to me. There's just something that they used to do with children. And unfortunately, very likely was done to them as a child. So that's the Pluto Mars part, okay? I want to talk about Japan. I heard that there was a weird thing where boys, they would play and they would stick a finger up each other's ass. Okay? I'm not joking. This is horrible. I don't know where they learned that, because that they learn it somewhere, and there's some adult involved with doing that. And then the children do that. Now, A-bomb is also Pluto, okay? Anus is Pluto, A-bomb is Pluto. Satanic ritual abuse breeds A-bombs. I think I talked about that. So whoever is doing that is already kind of doomed themselves when it comes to exposure of satanic ritual abuse that they did, but it's also very likely that they were raped as a boy. And are perpetuating that. That's not good for you. You need to access your own anus. I'm absolutely not joking. You need to begin to access your own anus, okay? If you are sexually attacked and then you do that to others, it's not, don't bust a vanderkolk on that. It sends up, babies in the best of cases. So we can't escape the fact that we'll be in that dumb fuckery situation until May. Okay? And I said, this is what I meant when, it's not what I meant. I didn't know how it's going to manifest. But with the new moon in Sag, square in Saturn, and Saturn kind of a square in Jupiter, the small problems become big, the big problems become small, okay? You may have been trying to recruit some person to sex trafficking, and then it's like, we're in a world war. I mean, like I don't say that I know this. First of all, Mercury is retrograde, so all the videos, including all the videos and all the content that I upload, there can be things, for example, that Itamar Yaron is doing remote view, so did remote view to the window. Okay, did he for sure take the crystal thing? I think he did take it and put it in some places, which happens. Another possibility, he did something with the remote view, the dildo, and then he tried to do some weird magic with that, which is a ritual satanic use. But because I talked about it, he thought that I'm accusing him of being a kleptoman, because I wrote on Facebook he tends to do that. But the thing is, I was not accusing him of kleptomania. I was accusing him of ritual satanic abuse, okay? That he steals stuff from his patients is not because he's kleptomania, it's because he's doing satanic ritual abuse with that. So he takes objects to get to their energy. It's not kleptomania. Kleptomania, psychologist Itamar Yaron, is supposed to be where a person just steals something that doesn't really use just for the thrill of stealing. That was not what I was excusing you for. Though you may have this a little bit. It's no shame. I mean, this happens. I don't feel the thrill of stealing things. In fact, I so much so don't feel the thrill of stealing things that when I had to steal food, I got so pissed at having to steal food that I just couldn't stop writing. Can you get me out of the situation where I have to steal food? What's the dumb fuckery that every job is kind of espionage and MK Ultra? Okay? But I don't shame people who do have that. I just don't think that was not what I was saying. I was saying that they were taking that for satanic ritual abuse, and that's how I knew about that. Now that Tima Mundi thingy that keep backfiring on you, you can, like, anyway. And so we're up in this situation till May. What do I mean? The small problems become big, the big problems become small. So we are after that new moon in Sag, and if I try to see how does that manifest, I see that first of all, increased awareness of, again, Mars is playing the back and forth on where Pluto was when Hiroshima and Nagasaki were dropping. And people are playing with each other's anus. I don't get to enjoy that. I don't even get to please my own anus. I mean, if people are more respectful. I don't understand, because that's the inversion of sexual energy. But the thing is, it's also armed conflict. It's also exposures. Okay? People try to coerce, the action of trying to coerce people to do stuff. Okay, this is, it's 9/11 on that, okay? And I said what I said. It's 9/11 on that. I said it before Pluto ingressed. It's 9/11 on the dumbfuckery. It's all this. Now, how do I know that? Because Mars is in Leo. You see, when Mars is in Cancer, when Mars is going to be in Cancer, that's the usual thing of Mars in Cancer. It's no longer the direct opposition with Pluto. It's releasing from that. And then you're going to get a lot of national Nazi, okay? You just get Cancer Mars is Nazi. I said my Navamsha has it, okay? But opposing Uranus is the fuck with that. When you hear me Hitlering, when I say Hitler was a painter, they should have let him that's that. It's defending your housing, it's defending your mothers, it's mothers defending children, okay, there's all those weird things, has to do with side carrying, also food, so people will be fighting about that. Yeah, I'm gonna have another episode for that, because this is important. But you see, we are in the Mein Kampf situation, okay? There is a perpetual war. People try to coerce people to do things that are rapey. And they get exposed, okay? You try to coerce someone, to try to get at the sexual energy, at the anus of someone. Then you're like, okay, what am I going to do with the dumb fuckery? Who does that? Oh, men that rape children. So that's some whoever is doing that is in some sort of a pedo ring, and they try to get at my sexual energy for some weird ritual or something. And it's given the face of Idon Evo. Again, maybe I'm wrong. There's a technology that can sense that and perhaps put some clarity in it. And Mercury is retrograde. Okay, we're gonna have, when Mercury is direct, we're gonna revisit those things with more information. For example, I thought Itamar directly took that glass dildo or whatnot. Maybe he did something with remote viewing and astral projection that looks like, and did a ritual, but just look at it. I have no idea, okay? Or maybe he did take it and put it in another place.